My child, before you dismiss this moment as random, before your finger moves to scroll past what your heart desperately needs to hear, stop. Just stop. Do you not know that I saw you reach for this message? Do you not understand that I have been pursuing you through every distraction, every doubt, every weary thought that told you I had forgotten your name? I have been chasing you through the noise of your own exhaustion, because what I am about to speak into your life cannot wait another day. You have been carrying something heavy. I know because I have been watching you try to lift it alone. I have seen the mornings when you wake up already tired. I have counted the tears you thought no one saw. I have heard the prayers you stopped praying because you convinced yourself I wasn't listening. But here is the truth that the enemy has worked so hard to hide from you. Every moment you thought I was silent, I was moving. Every night you lay awake wondering where I was standing right there, waiting for you to stop striving long enough to feel my presence. You are not forgotten. You are not punished. You are not too far gone for me to reach. I have been building something in your life that no force in heaven or on earth can stop. Not your past, not your mistakes, not the people who rejected you, not the doors that slammed shut, not the diagnosis, not the betrayal, not the financial collapse, not the loneliness that has become your unwanted companion. None of it has the power to undo what I am doing right now, in this very moment, while you breathe and read these words. Do you remember Job? My servant Job. The enemy came to me and asked permission to strip him of everything, and I allowed it. Do you know why? Not because I was cruel, not because I was distant, but because I saw what Job could not see. I saw the end from the beginning. I saw the testimony that would be forged in the fire. I saw the double portion that would restore everything stolen, and I knew that Job would only discover the fullness of my faithfulness after he had walked through the furnace. Job lost his children, his health, his wealth. His friends turned against him. His own wife told him to curse me and die. He sat in ashes, scraping his wounds with broken pottery, and he did not understand why I had allowed such devastation. But here is what Job did not know while he suffered. I never left his side, not for 1 second. I was in the silence he wept into. I was in the darkness he cursed. I was weaving a tapestry of redemption that would outlast his suffering and echo through thousands of years, all the way to this very moment when I am speaking to you. My child, your situation is not what it appears to be. What looks like destruction is preparation. What feels like abandonment is isolation for a purpose. What sounds like silence is actually the sound of something being built. I am doing something in your life that no one can stop. Not because you are perfect, but because I am faithful. Not because you deserve it, but because my love for you was never based on your performance. I chose you before you took your first breath. I wrote your story before the foundations of the earth. And this chapter you are in right now, the one that makes no sense, the one that has you questioning everything you thought you knew about me, it is not the end of your story. It is the middle of your miracle. I am repositioning you. I am uprooting what should not remain so I can plant what will not be shaken. I am closing doors you keep trying to open because I have already prepared a door that no man can shut. I am stripping away dependencies that have become idols. I am exposing relationships that were never sent by me. I am allowing you to hit bottom so that when you rise, you will know, beyond any shadow of doubt, that it was my hand that lifted you. The enemy wants you to believe that this struggle is permanent. But I tell you, this struggle is preparation. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. There is a shift happening in the spiritual realm that you cannot yet see with your natural eyes. Principalities are being rearranged. Assignments against your life are being broken. Chains you have carried for years are snapping at the very moment you feel weakest. Because my power is made perfect in weakness, not in your strength, not in your ability to figure things out, in your surrender. I have not brought you this far to abandon you. I have not kept you alive through everything you have survived just to watch you drown now. The Red Sea is before you. The enemy is behind you. The mountains surround you, and every natural instinct screams that you are trapped. But I am the God who parts seas. I am the God who makes a way where there is no way. I am the God who told Moses to stretch out his staff over waters that looked impossible. And then I made the impossible bow to my command. That same power is yours, not because you earned it, because I gave it. So stop looking at the size of your problem and start looking at the size of your God. Stop measuring your future by your past. Stop agreeing with the lies that tell you this is as good as it gets. I am the God of more than enough. I am the God of suddenlies. I am the God who shows up late by man's watch so that no one can mistake the miracle for anything other than me. You are about to walk through a door you didn't build. You are about to receive provision from a source you didn't cultivate. You are about to experience restoration in places you had buried as dead. But first, you must trust me in this moment, right here, right now, while the noise fades and my voice becomes clear. Do not rush past this. Do not treat this like another message you consume and forget. I am speaking to you, personally, intentionally, relentlessly, and what I am about to unfold in your life will require you to hold on to me when nothing else makes sense. The story is not over. The battle is not yours. It is mine, and I have already won. But there is more I need to show you. There is a deeper revelation I am releasing in this hour about what is coming next and how you must position yourself to receive it. I am not finished with you. What I am about to reveal next will change how you see your struggle forever. My beloved child, you said yes to continue. And in that yes, something shifted in the spiritual realm that you cannot yet perceive with your natural senses. The very fact that you are still here, still reading, still breathing, despite everything that has tried to take you out, that is not coincidence. That is covenant. That is the blood covering that has kept you when you didn't even know you needed keeping. And now I need you to lean in closer, because what I am about to speak into your spirit will either make you or break you, depending on how you receive it. The battle you are fighting right now is not about what you think it is. You have been looking at the surface, at the circumstances, at the people who hurt you, at the bills that keep piling up, at the marriage that feels like it's dying, at the children who have wandered, at the health that is failing, at the dreams that seem buried so deep you cannot even remember what they look like anymore. But I tell you, child, the surface is a distraction. The enemy has been keeping your eyes fixed on the visible, so that you remain blind to the invisible war being waged over your destiny. You are not fighting against flesh and blood. You are not fighting against that coworker who betrayed you, or that family member who rejected you, or that spouse who walked away. You are fighting against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And the reason the battle has been so intense, the reason you have felt like you cannot catch your breath, the reason sleep has felt elusive and peace has felt like a foreign language, it is because you are dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. If you were not a threat, you would not be under attack. If your destiny were small, the enemy would leave you alone. But because I have placed something inside you that hell itself cannot contain, because I have called you for such a time as this, because I am about to use you in ways that will make the enemy regret the day he ever touched what belongs to me. That is why the pressure has been so relentless. Do you remember Daniel? My servant Daniel, who served in a foreign land under kings who did not know me. Daniel, who prayed faithfully even when a decree was signed forbidding prayer to anyone except the king. Daniel, who refused to compromise, though the lion's den awaited him if he disobeyed. The enemy saw Daniel's prayer life as a threat. The enemy understood that as long as Daniel was connected to me in communion, as long as Daniel's knees hit the floor 3 times a day facing Jerusalem, as long as Daniel's heart was aligned with my heart, then the plans of darkness over that nation could not stand. So they conspired. They manipulated the king. They crafted a law designed specifically to trap my servant. And when Daniel refused to stop praying, they threw him into that den of lions, fully expecting his destruction. But here is what they did not understand. The lions were not the problem. The lions were never the problem. The lions were created by my hand, subject to my command. And when my servant's obedience placed him in that den, I did not remove the lions. I shut their mouths. I did not eliminate the danger. I silenced it. I did not extract Daniel from the trial. I manifested my power inside of it. And child, that is exactly what I am doing in your life right now. You have been looking at the lions, trembling at their roar, convinced that this is where your story ends. But I am telling you, the lions are not your problem. They never were. The mouths that have spoken against you, the accusations that have been leveled against you, the plans that have been designed to destroy you, I am shutting every single one of them in ways that will leave your enemies speechless and your doubters stunned. You will walk out of this den and there will not be a single scratch on you, because I am not just your deliverer. I am your keeper. I keep you in the fire. I keep you in the flood. I keep you in the den. And when you emerge, the only thing that will have been consumed is the very thing they thought would consume you. But listen carefully to what I am speaking now. Daniel did not wait until he was out of the den to trust me. He trusted me in the den. He trusted me when he heard the stone roll across the entrance. He trusted me when the darkness surrounded him. He trusted me when the roars echoed off the walls. And because he trusted me inside the trial, I was glorified through the trial. That is the assignment I am giving you right now. Stop waiting for the circumstances to change to praise me. Praise me in the circumstances. Stop waiting for the marriage to heal to believe me. Believe me while it's breaking. Stop waiting for the provision to appear to thank me. Thank me while it's invisible. Your praise in the darkness confuses the enemy more than your deliverance does. Your worship in the storm silences the accuser more than your testimony will. Because when you bless me in the midst of the curse, when you lift your hands, when you feel like giving up, when you declare my goodness, when everything around you screams that I have abandoned you, you are proving that your faith is not dependent on your circumstances. You are proving that I am enough, not just when I provide, but when I am all you have. And child, I am enough. I am enough for the sleepless nights. I am enough for the empty bank account. I am enough for the wayward child. I am enough for the terminal report. I am enough for the loneliness that feels like it's consuming you alive. I am enough. But you will not know I am enough until I am all you have. And right now, I am stripping away everything that has competed for your affection, everything that has stolen your attention, everything that has become a counterfeit source of security, not to punish you, but to position you. I am removing the props so you will learn to lean on me. I am clearing the distractions so you will hear my voice. I am allowing the temporary to crumble so you will build on the eternal. This is not rejection, this is invitation. I am inviting you into a depth of intimacy with me that you cannot access when your hands are full of other things. I am calling you into the secret place where the enemy cannot reach you, where the noise of the world fades, where my voice becomes clearer than your fears. And in that place, I am giving you strategies that no military academy could teach, wisdom that no university could impart, favor that no networking could produce. I am making you a threat to the kingdom of darkness, not because of who you are, but because of whose you are. But there is a progression here that you must understand, child. There is an order to how I move, and if you rush past the process, you will miss the promise. Joseph did not go from the pit to the palace overnight. He went through Potiphar's house, through false accusations, through prison, through years of waiting, through seasons where every natural indication suggested that the dream I had given him was dead. But I was with Joseph in the prison just as surely as I was with him in the palace. I was teaching him in the darkness what he would need in the light. I was developing character in secret that would sustain him in public. And when the time was fully come, when the preparation was complete, when the alignment was perfect, I brought him out, not a moment early, not a moment late, right on time. My timing is perfect, child, even when it makes no sense to you. My delays are not denials. My silence is not absence. My process is not punishment. I am working all things together for your good. But your good is not always your comfort. Your good is not always your preference. Your good is not always your timetable. Your good is my glory manifested in your life, and my glory often requires a waiting room. So wait well, wait with worship, wait with expectation, wait with the confidence that the one who began a good work in you will be faithful to complete it. The lions are not your end, they are your platform. The den is not your grave, it is your testimony. And when you walk out, when the stone is rolled away, when the sun hits your face again, you will not be the same person who went in. You will carry a testimony that no one can argue with, a fire that no one can extinguish, a faith that no one can shake. But you must trust me through the night. You must hold on to me when you cannot see. You must believe that what I am doing in the dark is worth more than anything you could produce in the light. I am weaving something beautiful. I am building something unshakable. I am preparing something that will outlast you. And the enemy's greatest fear is that you will not give up, that you will not quit, that you will not walk away, that you will keep pressing, keep believing, keep trusting, keep worshiping until the breakthrough comes. Do not let him win. Do not let the weariness convince you to stop. Do not let the delay make you doubt. I am coming. I am moving. I am working. And what I am about to do in your life will make every tear worth it, every sleepless night worth it, every moment of waiting worth it. But there is still more I need to show you about how this unfolds. There is a deeper layer of strategy I am releasing in this hour that will determine how quickly you walk into your promised land. My chosen one, You have stayed with me through the unfolding of this message, and I want you to know that your perseverance in seeking my voice has not gone unnoticed in the heavenly realms. The angels are watching, the cloud of witnesses is leaning in, and the enemy is trembling because you have not let go. You have refused to abandon the pursuit of my presence, and in that refusal, you have positioned yourself for an encounter that will fundamentally alter the trajectory of your life. But now I need to take you deeper, child, because there is a strategy that the enemy has used against you that you have not fully recognized. And until you see it, you will continue to struggle in areas where I have already given you victory. The strategy is this. The enemy has convinced you that your past disqualifies you from your future. He has played your failures on repeat in your mind. He has brought up every mistake, every poor decision, every moment of weakness, every word spoken in anger, every opportunity squandered, every relationship broken, and he has used these things to build a case against you that you have unconsciously accepted as truth. You have begun to believe that you are too damaged for me to use, too broken for me to restore, too inconsistent for me to trust with the assignment I have placed inside you. But I tell you, child, that is a lie straight from the pit of hell, and it is time for you to renounce it once and for all. Do you remember my servant Moses? Moses who murdered an Egyptian and hid his body in the sand? Moses who ran to the wilderness in fear when his sin was exposed? Moses who spent 40 years believing that his moment had passed, that his destiny was dead, that I could never use someone with blood on his hands. Moses who stood before a burning bush and told me he was not qualified, that he was slow of speech, that he could not possibly be the one to stand before Pharaoh and demand the release of my people. That same Moses, the murderer, the fugitive, the failure, I used to confront the most powerful empire on earth. That same Moses who doubted himself, who doubted me, who begged me to send someone else, I used to part the Red Sea. That same Moses who had a past that screamed disqualified, I used to write the 10 Commandments with my own finger. Do you see what I am showing you? Your past does not interest me. Your failures do not shock me. Your mistakes do not limit me. I am the God who takes what the enemy meant for evil and turns it for good. I am the God who chooses the weak things to confound the mighty. I am the God who called David, a shepherd boy, the youngest of his brothers, overlooked by his own father, anointed in secret long before he reigned in public, and I made him a king. And do you remember David's past? Do you remember what he did? He committed adultery with Bathsheba, and then murdered her husband Uriah to cover it up. He committed sins that would destroy most ministries, that would end most callings, that would leave most people disqualified and discarded. But David, when confronted, repented. David broke. David wept. David returned to me with a shattered heart and a contrite spirit. And I not only forgave him, I called him a man after my own heart. Child, do you hear what I am speaking to you? There is nothing you have done that is greater than my grace. There is no sin so dark that my blood cannot cover it. There is no failure so profound that my redemption cannot reach it. The enemy wants you to live in the shame of yesterday so that you cannot walk in the victory of today. He wants you to rehearse your mistakes so that you cannot hear my strategies. He wants you to believe that you are starting from behind, that you have too much ground to make up, that it is too late for your dreams to be resurrected. But I am the God of resurrection, and I specialize in bringing dead things back to life. I specialize in restoring the years the locusts have eaten. I specialize in taking the ashes of your failures and exchanging them for beauty. I am not intimidated by your past. I am inspired by it, because your past is the raw material I use to build your testimony. Your greatest failure will become your greatest message. Your deepest wound will become your greatest ministry. Your most humiliating moment will become the very place where my power is most visible. But you must stop agreeing with the accuser. You must stop rehearsing the indictment. You must stop living in the grave of what was and start walking in the resurrection of what is and what is to come. I have already cast your sins into the sea of forgetfulness. I have already removed them as far as the east is from the west. I have already nailed them to the cross and declared it is finished over every accusation the enemy could bring against you. So why are you still carrying what I have already canceled? Why are you still wearing the grave clothes when I have already called you out of the tomb? It is time to walk free. It is time to shake off the chains. It is time to stop defining yourself by your worst moments and start defining yourself by my relentless love for you. Do you remember Paul? My servant Paul, who was once called Saul. He held the coats of those who stoned Stephen. He breathed threats and murder against my followers. He dragged men and women from their homes and threw them into prison. He was a terrorist to the early church, a destroyer of destinies, a man consumed with erasing the name of Jesus from the earth. And then he met me on the Damascus road, and in one encounter, one moment of divine interruption, everything changed. I did not make him serve a probationary period. I did not make him prove himself for 10 years before I trusted him. I did not hold his past against him or bring it up every time he made a mistake. I saved him, filled him, and sent him, and he became the greatest apostle the church has ever known. He wrote half the New Testament. He planted churches across the known world. He endured beatings, stonings, shipwrecks, imprisonments, and through it all, he never stopped declaring that I am the God of radical, scandalous, undeserved grace. And child, that same grace is available to you right now. Not tomorrow, not after you get your life together, not after you clean up your act. Right now, with all your mess, all your struggles, all your questions, all your doubts. I am not waiting for you to become worthy. I am waiting for you to accept that you never will be, and that my grace is sufficient precisely because you cannot earn it. The enemy has kept you striving, performing, trying to measure up, and every time you fail, he whispers, "See, you're not good enough. You'll never be good enough." And you have believed him. But I tell you, child, you are not good enough, and you never will be. That is the point. That is the gospel. That is the good news that set the prisoners free and raised the dead to life. I did not come for the righteous. I came for sinners. I did not come for those who have it all together. I came for the broken, the battered, the bruised, the burned out, the backslidden, the beaten down. I came for you, not the version of you that has everything figured out, the real you, the tired you, the struggling you, the you who messed up again this morning, the you who made a promise to change and broke it before sunset, the you who is secretly terrified that you have gone too far this time. I came for that you, and I am not leaving until that you is free. So I need you to do something right now. I need you to stop running from me. I need you to stop hiding behind your shame. I need you to stop pretending you have it together when you are falling apart inside. I need you to come to me just as you are and let me love you. Let me wash you. Let me restore you. Let me speak over you what the enemy has spent years trying to silence. You are my child. You are my beloved. You are chosen, not because of what you have done, but because of who I am. And I am love. I am grace. I am mercy. I am the God who runs to meet the prodigal while he is still a long way off. I am the God who throws a robe over the rags and a ring on the finger and declares a feast over the one who was dead and is alive again. That is how I feel about you. And nothing, not death, not life, not angels, not demons, not your past, not your present, not your future, not any power in all creation can separate you from my love. So stop trying to earn what has already been given. Stop striving for what has already been secured. Stop performing for what has already been purchased. Rest in me, trust in me, lean on me, and let me carry you through the next chapter of this journey. But there is still more you need to understand about how your surrender unlocks the supernatural. There is a mystery I'm about to reveal that will change how you face every battle from this moment forward. My precious child, you have traveled deep into this message, and your willingness to stay has not gone unnoticed in the courts of heaven. While you have been reading, while you have been receiving, while you have been allowing my words to penetrate the hard places of your heart, I have been doing a work in you that you cannot yet feel. I have been loosening chains you have carried for decades. I have been uprooting lies you accepted as truth when you were too young to know better. I have been preparing you for a level of breakthrough that will require you to walk differently, think differently, and respond differently than you ever have before. But now I must show you something that many of my children never understand. And because they do not understand it, they remain trapped in cycles of defeat that I died to break. The thing I must show you is this: the enemy does not fear your prayers as much as he fears your praise. He does not tremble at your petitions as much as he trembles at your worship. He can counter your arguments. He can distort your theology. He can confuse your mind with questions and doubts, but he has no defense against a heart that worships me in the midst of the storm. When you praise me, you enter dimensions of spiritual authority that your natural mind cannot comprehend. When you worship me, you shift the atmosphere in ways that demonic forces cannot withstand. And I am about to take you to a place in my word that will prove this truth so powerfully that you will never again be silent when the enemy attacks. Do you remember Paul and Silas, my servants, thrown into a Philippian prison for casting a demon out of a slave girl? They were beaten with rods. Their backs were torn open. Their feet were fastened in stocks. They were thrown into the innermost prison cell, in darkness, in chains, in pain, with every natural reason to despair. The enemy thought he had silenced them. The enemy thought he had defeated them. The enemy thought that imprisonment would break their spirit and destroy their faith. But Paul and Silas knew something that the enemy did not account for. They knew that prison is a location, but praise is a position. Chains can bind the body, but they cannot bind the spirit. They knew that darkness may surround them, but the light of my presence cannot be extinguished. So at midnight, at the darkest hour, at the lowest moment, when hope should have been dead and faith should have failed, Paul and Silas began to pray. And then they began to sing hymns to me. Not sad songs, not desperate songs, not songs asking for deliverance. They sang songs of praise. They sang songs of thanksgiving. They sang songs declaring my goodness and my greatness and my faithfulness. And as they worshiped, something shifted in the spiritual realm that no Roman prison could contain. The foundations of the prison were shaken. Every door flew open. Every chain fell off. Every prisoner was loosed. Not because Paul and Silas strategized their escape. Not because they organized a prison break. Not because they fought their way out. Because they worshiped. Child, do you understand what I'm showing you? Your worship is warfare. Your praise is a weapon. Your thanksgiving is a key that unlocks prison doors. The enemy has kept you bound because he has kept you focused on your problem instead of your provider. He has kept you circling the same mountain because he has kept you rehearsing your complaint instead of declaring my victory. But when you praise me, when you genuinely worship me, when you lift your voice and your heart in thanksgiving, even when everything around you is falling apart, you enter a dimension where the enemy's strategies are nullified. You shake the foundations of the prison you are in. You cause chains to fall off that you didn't even know were still attached. You open doors that no one can shut. And I am calling you to this place right now. I am calling you to midnight praise, not when the sun is shining and everything is going well. Anyone can praise me then. I am calling you to praise me when it hurts. I am calling you to thank me when you don't understand. I am calling you to worship me when your circumstances scream that I have abandoned you. That is the praise that moves mountains. That is the worship that silences the accuser. That is the sacrifice of praise that ascends to my throne as a sweet-smelling aroma and releases my power into your situation. But there is something else you must see in this story, child. When the prison doors flew open and the chains fell off, Paul and Silas did not run. They stayed. They remained in that prison even though they were free to leave. And because they stayed, the jailer, who was about to kill himself because he thought the prisoners had escaped, fell trembling before them and asked the most important question any human being can ask. What must I do to be saved? Paul and Silas led him and his entire household to me that night. Their imprisonment became his salvation. Their chains became his freedom. Their midnight became his morning. Do you see what I am showing you? Your deliverance is not just for you. Your breakthrough is not just for your benefit. Your testimony is not just for your story. I am doing something in your life that will impact generations. I am delivering you in a way that will become a roadmap for others. I am setting you free so that you can show others the way to freedom. The enemy thought he was destroying you, but I was positioning you to become a lighthouse. The enemy thought he was silencing you, but I was giving you a message that would echo through eternity. The enemy thought he was ending you, but I was just getting started. So I need you to shift your perspective. Stop seeing your struggle as a punishment and start seeing it as a platform. Stop viewing your pain as pointless and start understanding that I am using it to build your compassion. Stop resenting the process and start embracing the purpose. I am not wasting anything. I am not allowing anything accidental. Every tear has been collected. Every wound has been noted. Every sleepless night has been recorded. And I am weaving it all together into a tapestry of redemption that will leave those who witness it in awe of my goodness. But you must cooperate with what I am doing. You must stop fighting the process and start flowing with it. You must stop resisting the pruning and start receiving the positioning. The branches I cut back are the ones that will bear the most fruit. The seasons of winter are the ones that prepare the ground for spring. The darkness of the two is what makes the resurrection so glorious. So lift your head, child. Lift your voice. Lift your hands. Begin to praise me right now, not for what you see, but for what you cannot see. Begin to thank me right now, not for your circumstances, but for my character. Begin to worship me right now, not because you understand, but because you trust. And as you praise, watch what I do. Watch the chains fall. Watch the doors open. Watch the enemy flee. Watch the mountains move. Watch the prison become a place of revival. I am about to do something in your life that no one can stop, and it will begin in the midnight hour when you choose to praise me instead of curse the darkness. But there is one more story I need to take you through. One more layer of revelation that will anchor your faith in a way that nothing in this world will ever be able to shake again. My faithful one, you have journeyed with me through the revelation of your positioning, your forgiveness, and your worship. And now I am taking you into a dimension that will require everything you have, but it will also give you everything you need. I am about to show you the mystery of stepping out in faith when every natural instinct tells you to stay in the boat. I am about to call you onto the water, child, and what you do in this moment will determine whether you spend the rest of your life playing it safe or walking in the supernatural. The enemy has convinced you that safety is found in staying where you are, in not rocking the boat, in not taking risks, in not stepping out beyond what you can control. But I tell you, the boat is not safe. The boat is comfort that becomes captivity. The boat is familiarity that becomes a prison. And I am calling you out of the boat and onto the water, where the wind and waves are raging, because it is only on the water that you will learn to walk in the power that I have placed inside you. Do you remember Peter? My impetuous, impulsive, passionate Peter? The disciples were in a boat on the Sea of Galilee, and the wind was contrary. The waves were beating against the vessel. They were straining at the oars, making no progress, terrified by the storm. And then they saw me walking on the water, walking on the very storm that was threatening to drown them, and they were frightened. They thought I was a ghost. They cried out in fear, but I spoke to them immediately. Be of good cheer. It is I. Do not be afraid. And Peter, bold Peter, reckless Peter, Peter who would later deny me 3 times, but who at that moment had a flicker of faith. Peter said something that changed everything. He said, Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water. And I spoke one word, come. That was all. Not a 5-point plan, not a guarantee of safety, not a promise that the wind would stop or the waves would calm. Just one word, come. And Peter got out of the boat. He left the safety of the vessel. He left everything that made sense. He left the other disciples who stayed behind. And he stepped onto the water. Child, do you understand what I am asking you? I am asking you to get out of the boat. I am asking you to leave behind the false security of what you can control. I am asking you to step onto the water of your impossible situation and trust that the same word that called you out will keep you up. Peter walked on the water. He walked on the impossible. He walked on the storm. He walked on everything that was threatening to sink him, not because he was special, but because he was obedient. He heard my voice, and he responded. And as long as he kept his eyes on me, as long as his focus remained fixed on the one who called him, he did what no human being can do naturally. He walked in the supernatural. But then something happened. He saw the wind. He felt the waves. He looked at the circumstances instead of the caller. And when he saw the wind, he became afraid. And when he became afraid, he began to sink. Child, you are not sinking because the storm is too strong. You are sinking because you have taken your eyes off me. You are sinking because you are looking at the size of your problem instead of the power of your God. You are sinking because the wind has become louder in your ears than my voice in your spirit. And as you sink, you cry out just as Peter cried out, Lord, save me. And I am reaching out my hand right now, this very moment, to catch you. I am not letting you drown. I am not abandoning you to the waves. I am stretching out my hand and saying to you what I said to Peter. O you of little faith, why did you doubt? But hear what I am speaking to your heart, child. My question is not condemnation, it is invitation. I am not asking why you doubted to shame you. I am asking so that you will recognize the pattern and never repeat it. You doubt because you look at the wind. You doubt because you measure the waves. You doubt because you calculate the odds instead of considering the one who spoke the universe into existence. And I am calling you to a faith that transcends calculation, a faith that ignores the odds, a faith that walks on water, because the one who called you is faithful. The enemy wants you to believe that your doubt disqualifies you. But look at Peter. He doubted, he sank, he failed, and I still caught him. I still saved him. That same Peter who sank in the sea became the Peter who stood up on the day of Pentecost and preached a sermon that brought 3,000 people into the kingdom. That same Peter who took his eyes off me became the Peter who walked in such power that his shadow healed the sick. That same Peter who cried out in fear became the Peter who was so full of my spirit that the religious leaders marveled at his boldness. Do you see what I am showing you? Your failure is not final. Your doubt is not disqualifying. Your moment of sinking is not the end of your story. I am the God of second chances, third chances, 70 times 7 chances. I am the God who restores what the enemy stole. I am the God who takes your greatest failure and turns it into your greatest testimony. But you must get back up. You must let me lift you. You must let me set your feet on the water again. And this time, keep your eyes on me. This time, refuse to look at the wind. This time, walk by faith and not by sight. I am doing something in your life that no one can stop, but you must cooperate with what I am doing. You must get out of the boat. You must leave behind the comfort of what is familiar. You must step onto the water of your impossibility and trust that the same God who called you will keep you. The boat is safe, but the boat is also stagnant. The boat protects you from the storm, but the boat also prevents you from walking in the miraculous. I am calling you to the miraculous, child. I am calling you to a life that defies natural explanation. I am calling you to walk on water in the middle of your storm, so that when the storm passes, everyone who watched you will know that it was not your strength that kept you up. It was my grace. But there is an enemy who does not want you to walk on water. There is an enemy who wants you to stay in the boat, to play it safe, to never risk, to never step out, to never believe that you could do the impossible. That enemy is fear. Fear has been your greatest opponent. Fear has kept you bound. Fear has silenced your prayers, stolen your dreams, and shipwrecked your faith. And I am commanding fear to loose its grip on you right now. I am not giving you a spirit of fear. I am giving you power, love, and a sound mind. I am making you brave. I am making you bold. I am making you dangerous to the kingdom of darkness, because you will no longer be paralyzed by what might happen. You will be propelled by what I have already promised. So step out, child. Step out of the boat of your comfort zone. Step out of the boat of playing it safe. Step out of the boat of waiting until everything is perfect. Step out onto the water of your destiny. The wind is howling. The waves are crashing. But I am walking on the water toward you, and I am saying the same words I spoke to Peter. Come. Will you come? Will you trust me? Will you leave behind everything that feels secure and step into everything that is supernatural? The choice is yours, but I am telling you, the boat will not satisfy you anymore. You have tasted too much of my presence. You have glimpsed too much of my power. You have experienced too much of my faithfulness to settle for safe. You were made for more. You were created for the water. You were destined to walk on the waves. And I am calling you into that destiny right now. But before you step out, there is one final truth you must understand. One final revelation that will anchor you so deeply that no storm will ever be able to shake you again. My beloved child, we have come to the final part of this message, and I want you to know that your persistence in seeking me through every word has not gone unnoticed. You have stayed when it would have been easier to walk away. You have listened when the enemy tried to distract you. You have received when your heart was tempted to harden. And because you have remained, I am releasing something over your life right now that will seal everything I'd have spoken and activated in ways you cannot yet imagine. But I need you to hear this final truth with every fiber of your being. The battle you have been fighting is not just for your survival, it is for your identity. The enemy has been attacking who I created you to be because he knows that once you fully step into your identity, nothing in hell will be able to stop you. And the key to unlocking that identity is found in one of the most unlikely stories in all of Scripture. A story of a shepherd boy, a giant, and a battle that looked impossible but was already won before it began. Do you remember David, my servant David, before he was king, before he conquered nations, before he wrote psalms that would be sung for thousands of years? David was just a boy, the youngest of his brothers, sent by his father to bring food to his older siblings on the battlefield. He wasn't supposed to be there. He wasn't trained for war. He wasn't armed with armor or weapons. He was just a shepherd who showed up to deliver lunch. But when he arrived, he saw something that made his blood boil. He saw the armies of Israel, the people of the living God, trembling in fear before a giant named Goliath. Day after day, Goliath came out and taunted the armies of Israel. Day after day, he mocked my name and defied my power. And day after day, the soldiers of Israel, including David's own brothers, ran in fear. But David saw something different. David didn't see an unbeatable giant. David saw an uncircumcised Philistine who dared to defy the God of angel armies. David didn't see impossible odds. David saw an opportunity for my name to be glorified. And when Saul tried to put his armor on David, when the king tried to equip the boy with human weapons and human strategies, David refused. He said, "I cannot go with these, for I have not tested them." And instead, David took what he knew. He took his shepherd's staff. He took 5 smooth stones from the brook. He took his sling, the same sling he had used to protect his sheep from lions and bears, and he ran toward the giant. Child, do you see what I am showing you? David did not try to be someone else. David did not try to fight with weapons he didn't understand. David did not try to become a soldier when he was a shepherd. David took what I had already given him, what he had already proven in secret, and he used it to defeat the enemy in public. The lion and the bear that David defeated while no one was watching were the very things that prepared him to defeat Goliath while everyone was watching. Your secret battles are preparing you for your public victories. Your private worship is equipping you for your public warfare. Your hidden faithfulness is positioning you for your manifested destiny. The enemy has tried to make you feel insignificant because you don't have what others have. He has tried to make you feel inadequate because you don't fight like others fight. He has tried to make you feel unqualified because you don't look like others look. But I am the God who uses shepherd boys to defeat giants. I am the God who uses slings and stones to bring down warriors. I am the God who chooses the weak things of the world to confound the things that are mighty. You don't need someone else's armor. You don't need someone else's strategy. You don't need someone else's anointing. You need what I have already placed in your hand. You need what you have already proven in the dark. You need the stones you have collected in the quiet places of worship and prayer and obedience. And when you take those stones, when you take what I have given you, and you run toward your giant, that giant will fall. Not because you are strong, but because I am with you. Not because your stone is powerful, but because your God is all-powerful. Not because you are skilled, but because I am faithful. The enemy has stood over your life long enough. He has taunted you long enough. He has made you tremble long enough. But I am raising you up in this hour as a David generation, a people who will not be intimidated by giants, who will not be silenced by threats, who will not be paralyzed by fear. I am raising you up to be a giant slayer, and the giant before you right now, whether it is sickness, whether it is poverty, whether it is addiction, whether it is rejection, whether it is fear, whether it is depression, whether it is a broken marriage, whether it is wayward children, whether it is a dead dream, that giant is coming down, not by your might, nor by your power, but by my Spirit. I am releasing the stone right now. I am positioning the sling right now. I am giving you the victory right now. But you must run toward the giant. You must stop retreating. You must stop hiding. You must stop believing that the enemy is bigger than your God. The same Goliath that terrified the armies of Israel became a footnote in the story of David's faith. And the same giant that has terrified you will become a footnote in the story of your testimony. So I am calling you to arise. I am calling you to shake off the fear. I am calling you to pick up your stones, your worship, your praise, your faith, your obedience, your prayers. And I am calling you to run. Run toward your miracle. Run toward your breakthrough. Run toward your deliverance. Run toward the very thing that has held you captive, and declare in my name that it no longer has power over you. For I have given you authority to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy. I have armed you with strength for the battle. I have gone before you and made the crooked places straight. I am the Lord your God, the mighty one of Israel, the King of kings, the Lord of lords, the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. And I am with you. I am for you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. So go in peace, my child. Go in power. Go in faith. Amen.